Welcome, and thank you for choosing the Napoleon NZ6000 High Country. In this video, we'll show you all the tricks of the trade to get the absolute most out of your new fireplace. It all begins with wood, dry wood to be precise. New freshly cut wood will generally contain about 50% moisture. So how dry do we want the wood to be? Properly seasoned, the moisture content should be no more than 20%. The wetter the wood, the more heat from the fire is wasted, evaporating water in the wood, which means less heat in your room. The real trick is determining when your wood is seasoned. Hardwoods can take up to a year to fully season, so make sure you start stacking your wood to dry early on. Looking for splits in the end grain and measuring the moisture using any standard wood moisture meter will help you tremendously. Burning green wood not only results in cooler fires, but can also cause poor chimney draft. This produces creosote, which will deposit in the fireplace and chimney system. This translates to more time, work, and money spent cleaning your fireplace, and less time spent enjoying it. Let's get to the fun part, lighting a curing fire. Your first few fires have to be small and hot to help cure the fire bricks. This means using lots of loosely crumpled paper and lots of 1-inch kindling. These curing fires are easy to build and are a critical first step. Open up the air control and let it burn. Don't build a full-size fire until you've done this at least 3 times, allowing the fireplace to fully cool down in between. With that out of the way, we're now ready to truly experience what can be accomplished with your new NZ6000 High Country. First, check to see if any ash needs to be removed from the bottom of the firebox. A 1-inch layer is great for allowing air to flow around the wood to feed the fire. Always store ashes removed from the fireplace in a non-combustible container with a lid for at least 24 hours before discarding. The NZ6000 is a big fireplace with a big chimney system. Depending on the height of the chimney, it may take some special attention to help get it heated and draft established. Building a hot starter fire is a great way to begin, but another feature of the NZ6000 that can help you is the bypass baffle. Like traditional fireplaces, you can open the damper in the bypass baffle to allow more heat up the chimney or close it for a more efficient burn. When first lighting your fire or during poor weather conditions, this can help you establish draft and get your fire roaring. Get out that newspaper again and start crumpling. We're going to need at least 15 pieces loosely crumpled to cover the bottom of the firebox and create a good base for our kindling. When adding your kindling, try to stack it in a grid configuration on top of the paper, which allows for airflow between pieces. Stack 12 pieces of 1-inch kindling to a height of 2 inches, which when dry, should weigh approximately 2 pounds. Starting a fire like this will help generate the heat needed for warming up the chimney and establishing draft for the larger fire to come. When loading or reloading the fireplace, always make sure to open up the air control until the firewood has caught fire and then restrict it as required to improve the efficiency of the fire. Starting at the rear of the fireplace, light the fire in multiple locations and then carefully close the door so that about a 1-inch gap is left for air to be drawn in. This will allow more air in to feed the fire until proper chimney draft is established. With our first fire beginning to nicely heat things up, we want to follow it with a secondary fire using 5 larger split pieces of wood, roughly 4 inches by 4 inches in size. This should weigh approximately 10 pounds when seasoned and dry. Open the door slowly to prevent drawing smoke into the room and carefully stack the wood with a shallow trench in between the pieces. This trench allows for critical combustion air to flow all around the wood. With these logs burning, we can close the door completely. Don't worry if you notice a change in flame pattern when you do this. It's a normal temporary condition that will occur until the chimney is fully heated and proper draft is established. This fire will take some time to burn, but once it has, your fireplace should be at the optimum temperature for building an outstanding fire. During the next reload, you can load the fireplace with a minimum of 3 large log pieces to the top of the andirons. This will provide you with longer burn times. Depending on the chimney draft in your installation, you'll soon learn how large the logs can be. For fires with poorer chimney draft, multiple logs of smaller diameter are preferred. Every wood-burning fireplace is designed to operate best when it's heated up, and the NZ6000 High Country is no different, needing big fires to accomplish this. Never burn the fireplace at the highest setting for longer than 30 minutes. Your fire may be hot, but is it burning efficiently? A hot, efficient fire in the fireplace will result in clean bricks and glass. As the fire burns out, the system cools, chimney draft slows, and creosote may begin to deposit on the bricks and glass. Don't worry though, the next time you burn a hot fire, most of this will be burned off. Between fires, you can clean loose soot from the glass manually using some wadded newspaper. You can then clean any additional buildup weekly with an approved glass cleaner. Here's a tip. Weather conditions will always affect the performance of any wood-burning fireplace or stove, including the NZ6000. On high-pressure days, where the air pressure at ground level is much greater than the pressure at the top of the chimney, the fireplace will vent more easily. The greater the difference between the two pressure zones, the better for establishing vent action. The taller the chimney, the greater the pressure difference. Low-pressure days, when the air is heavy with rain or humidity and there tends to be little to no wind, are the least ideal days for building a fire. This is because the pressure at the fireplace, normally around ground level, is close to that at the top of the chimney. On these days, you'll find it more difficult to establish a good draft and may need to use more paper and kindling to heat up the system than on a high-pressure day. You may also need to give more air to the fire on these days. Don't forget to have your chimney checked regularly for cleaning. By remembering these few tricks of the trade, you'll get years of pleasure and warmth from your new NZ6000. Thank you for watching, and most importantly, thank you for choosing Napoleon.